Hi guys, welcome back. If you've been trying to get a job in the UK, the new visa changes are probably a huge reason for you to worry. But if you are to get a skilled worker visa, you now need to be paid £38,700 per year. Now, getting a job offering sponsorship in the UK was difficult by itself. But now, getting a job offering sponsorship while also paying you more, at least £38,700, will be even trickier. But there is a solution, and that is to sponsor your own visa. And that's what we're discussing today. Today we're discussing options to sponsor your own visa, the eligibility, and how to apply. With that, I'm Ashika, and on this channel we talk about moving across the world to work or to study. With that, let's dive in. For starters, let's clear something. The UK technically does not have a self-sponsorship visa. There are countries that do offer this option where you can self-sponsor, but not the UK. Instead, the UK does have certain visa routes that you can take to get sponsorship for yourself. So there are multiple ways that you can approach this. First off, there's the Global Talent Visa. Now, with this visa, you don't need a company to sponsor you. You can apply for your own visa and you can live in the UK for 5 years. After the 5 years are done, you can apply to extend your visa, or you can apply for an ILR after 3 to 5 years. To be eligible for this visa, you need to be a leader or a potential leader in academics, research, arts and culture, or digital technology, and be successfully endorsed. For the endorsement, you'll have to fill in an application that the UK government will send to be reviewed. You don't need an endorsement if you've won an award, but it needs to be one of these awards. If you're worried that it's not too easy, the UK issued 3,901 visas for this category until June 2023, which was an increase of 76% versus last year, which is not so bad at all for this category, so it's definitely something for you to consider. Before we move ahead, don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Every single click helps, especially during those nights when it's 11 p.m. and I'm still scripting videos to share with you and wondering when I'll get to sleep. Okay, moving on. If you aren't an award-winning scientist or an actor, there's still hope for you. There's a second visa you can consider, which is the Innovator Founder Visa. And with this visa, you don't need a sponsor as well. You don't need a sponsor or a company to offer you a job. You yourself would be able to apply for a visa. This visa allows you to stay in the UK for 3 years and you can take your dependents along. After your 3 years are up, you can either apply for an ILR or an indefinite leave to remain, or apply to extend your existing visa. The most important thing for you to keep in mind for this visa is that for you to apply for this visa, the idea should actually be innovative. It should be something that's completely different from everything else that's on the market. The other point is that this business idea or the business by itself should be endorsed by an endorsing body. The information of who these endorsing bodies are is on the gov.uk website. Here's something important for you to bear in mind. Until June 2023, 494 founder visas were issued of the 321,000 work visas issued until June 2023. So not too many applications. The approval rate also dropped to 82% in 2022 from 93% in 2019. The reason for this is it's not the easiest to prove that your business is innovative. For those of you who are Indian and watching this, think back to when around 10 years ago, Dunzo was first introduced in India, or when Airbnb first started. What if your business idea is similar to that of Swiggy's in India? Well, the challenge is that Uber Food already follows a similar model in the UK, and so does Deliveroo and a dozen other apps. So that won't help you with a visa. If the idea that you have exists in other markets but not in the UK, you still have a chance, so you have to do your research. For you to be eligible for this visa, your business obviously needs to be new, so you cannot join something that's already established. It has to be innovative, so you can't copy an existing idea that's already in existence. It should have potential for growth, and you should prove it can be scaled up to create multiple jobs. And obviously, like we discussed, you will need an endorsement from the endorsing body. Apart from this, you'll also need to prove that you can support yourself in the UK, take the English language test, and I'll leave this link in the description for you to find out all of the details. And finally, the easiest of the other routes, the skilled worker visa route. So I'm guessing you are aware of the normal skilled worker visa route if you've been trying to move to the UK, because it's the most popular route in the UK for work. The process you'd follow here is you'd set up your company in the UK, apply for a license to be a licensed sponsor, and then apply for a COS and then get a skilled worker visa. The advantage with this is that you can apply for an ILR after 5 years. So if that's your eventual goal, it works perfectly. And you can bring your dependents along with you as long as you meet the salary threshold, which is currently 26,200 per year, but it's going to change to 38,700 per year from spring 2024, like you probably know. The challenge, however, of this visa compared to the Innovative Founder visa is that for you to apply for a sponsorship license for a skilled worker visa, you would have to have a resident apply as your authorizing officer. You wouldn't be able to apply yourself. But again, because there are no restrictions on setting up the business in terms of scale or revenue, this is a really good option to consider. So irrespective of whether you are in the UK on a different visa or outside the UK, this is something you should definitely consider if you have the means of managing it. When it comes to students, I would recommend being a little careful, because here's the thing. Students can't typically own a business because they can't be self-employed. They also can't get a skilled worker visa while they are still studying, because the UK visa rules now state that you can't switch from a student visa to a skilled worker visa while your course is still going on. You can, however, apply for a visa after the course completion date. Or if you're already in the UK as a student and you have a dependent, your dependent can apply instead of you, and after they get their skilled worker visa, you can switch from a student visa to a skilled worker visa dependent. Alright, that was quite a bit and pretty technical today, but I hope it made sense. But if you have a question, drop a comment below and I will try my best to get back to you. Give this video a thumbs up if you feel it helped you, and share it with your friends. Thanks for watching. And if you wanted to know all the changes happening in the visa world, watch this.